Right now, business owners across America are scrambling to figure out how they'll be impacted by the Supreme Court's tariff decision. Yair Reiner is one of them. He's founder and CEO of Gowanus Kitchen Lab and inventor of the Frywall Splatter Guard, which is manufactured in China. So, Yair, thank you for talking to us. I know there's a lot to process right now, but when you were last on the program last April, Trump announced that he was imposing a 125% tariff on China, up from 54%. So how are you feeling today now that the Supreme Court has struck down the president's authority to do that?
I'm really helpful. I was able to parry some of the increases last year by ordering some of the things up front. Also, the tariffs went up and down all over the place. I managed to get some imports in at a good price, others at a poor price, but it's been very, very hard to manage my business. And knowing now that maybe I can reliably know what I'll have to pay for my main input, I think will make it easier for me to manage my business, and also hopefully will prevent me from having to raise prices again this year, which I was looking at having to do.
How much money have you lost to Trump's tariffs?
It's been tens of thousands of dollars, which, for large companies doesn't seem like a lot, but for a small family-run business, it's a big hit to our bottom line, and also to our ability to just plan. We're hoping to launch another product this year, and if these additional tariffs can really come off, it really means we can launch this product 15% cheaper than it would be with the tariffs. That's great for our customers, and that'll be great for our business.
You talked about how you had to raise prices in response to the tariffs. What other things did you have to do to adapt to these tariffs?
Well, I had to look for other options in terms of where to manufacture. So I'm fortunate enough to have manufacturing facilities in both China and in Taiwan. I had to see where I might be able to shift. I would say that I did a lot of damage to my relationships with the factories that I have. And, no one is building a real company in America based on just buying widgets. To make something that is of good quality, where you have some innovation over time, you have to have relationships with your manufacturers. And having these tariffs go up and down and putting these relationships into a constant state of flux has not been good. So I'm hoping now that if our tariff situation has a little more stability to it, it means I can also bring some stability back to my business relationships, so that we all know that we're working towards a long-term goal, and that ultimately not everything is transactional from one order to the next, because that's not a good way to build a business.
Do you feel like things are going to be stable now, though, or are there a lot of things that you still don't know about, like whether or not you're going to be able to get a refund from the government for the costs that you incurred?
The refund is one thing, and you're right, there's absolutely no visibility. I think we've heard that large corporations like Costco have already gotten their lawyers to do the work to get some of that money back. I don't have the ability to fund that. I'll have to rely on the federal government to actually open up those pathways. But I think what's more concerning to me is whether the administration is going to try to find other means of implementing these tariffs. Ultimately, I think companies like mine can parry any kind of costs that we have coming our way as long as we have visibility. I think what's been really, really tough is having the ball keep on moving. It's like, you try to kick the football and someone takes it away from you. I think that as long as we are in a situation where we have some visibility and some clarity, I think we'll feel a lot better. And maybe this takes us a step towards that, but I think we'll need to see how the president tries to carry his tariff policy out forward, without this particular toolbox.
So you're hopeful, but ultimately there is still a little bit of uncertainty left. Yeah. Yair Reiner, thank you so much.
Thank you very much
for talking to us.